Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you. Welcome to another video tutorial. And in this video, we shall be revisiting the XAUUSD as this is going to be a follow-up detail to my previous analysis. And during the course of last week's trading session, we really didn't have any significant profit here as we saw price action caught within the channel right within the 1885 level and that important key level we identify around the 1860. As every point in time we had a position triggered, it didn't last long before price action takes us out of that position. And this is evident that there is an indecision right above the structure. And for the sake of clarity here, I would like to share with you a couple of key moments that we had during the course of last week trading session before we move into what our expectations are for this new week. Well, at the beginning of the week, I shared this commentary here where we saw a situation where price action had been finding by pressure above that important key level at the 1860. And as soon as price got into that 1880 level, we saw a situation where selling pressure resumed and we were anticipating either a breakout or breakdown of the channel to give us an opportunity to either buy or sell the XAUUSD. So after monitoring the situation here since sudden pressure below the 1880, I was able to identify a simple setup on the 15 minutes time frame where we said we shall be using this current structure to determine what our next line of action will be. And in fact, we saw the breakdown of the 1875 level, giving us an opportunity to sell. And we rode the move all the way down, which gave us about 1,000 pips before we started seeing some buy pressure again resume around the 1860 to push price to the upside. And in fact, it appears price action had been floating above the 1860 level and tending towards a resistance point at the 1875, giving us a situation where we might likely be seeing a buy position. And as a result of this, we were able to position ourselves in such a way that we were looking out for um, that buy opportunity above that structure, and we had some buying attempts really, and then we saw the breakout of that structure during the early hours of I think Tuesday or Wednesday's trading session, where we saw the breakout of the 1880. Though it didn't last long as we continued to see selling pressure resume again, and it was not until later that evening we realized that we are within a huge consolidation phase. And with the breakdown of the 1880, I informed us here that we should be selling any rejection or retest of the $1880 level here. And in fact, that was exactly what happened here. Had a position at the breakdown of the 1875 level, leading to the breakdown of that support level of that channel. I think somewhere around this area that was on the 9th of this month. And we were able to ride the move all the way down. And prior to the consumer sentiment index on Friday, we anticipated this with a structure between the 1869 and the 1860, and we got the position triggered during the after the consumer sentiment index. So at this point in time, we saw price close the week right above the 1860 to give us a huge consolidation phase last week to emphasize the indecision in this market. If you want to have a peep into how we took advantage of that trade, you want to have a detailed explanation, well, I will be dropping the link to that video right in the comment section of this one. And if you are watching on my YouTube channel, you shall be seeing it at the top right hand side of your screen. So with that being said here, let's dive into the current chart here, and that is the daily time frame. I will be zooming right into the current structure since this is going to be a follow-up detail to my previous analysis. So if you want to see how we got to this point, you might want to look at my previous video to have a peep into how we got to this area. So right now here, following the situation we have here, price action breaking down that channel at between the 1950 level and the 1900 level a couple of weeks ago as we saw the engulfing candle breaking down that structure. And this led to a situation where price closed the previous week at the 1860, and throughout the course of last week trading session, we saw how sellers were unable to break down the 1860 level. As you can see here, buy pressure came in, negating all selling attempts. But one thing about this consolidation phase here that is very evident is the fact that the nature of this candle seems more like a sharp rejection of this level to further emphasize that there is some level of selling pressure around that area, which I think at one point in time will finally break down the 1860 level to give us an opportunity to sell the XAUUSD. Another thing I would like to lay emphasis on here is how this bullish trend line that we have here has been holding bullish momentum in the last 3 to 4 months. And one thing about the structure here, about the 1860, is the fact that it shares a beautiful confluence with that bullish trend line, as you can see around the structure. And sharing a confluence with that bullish trend line also has this sharp rejection of that level. If you look at the week of this candle throughout the course of last week's trading session, you can see that there is an evidence of selling pressure around that area. And if price action continue to knock the 1860, I know at one point in time this support level will cave in. We have a breakdown of that structure will be giving us an opportunity to sell. So with the information we have here on the daily time frame, I would like us to scale down to the 4 hours time frame where I was able to identify a structure which we shall be using to guide trading activity for this week. Before I go into the details on the 4 hours time frame, I would like us to look at the economic calendar as we have a couple of macroeconomic events we want to be looking forward to that will be driving price movement for this week. And if we pull out the economic calendar here, we shall be looking at um, fundamental drivers that will be affecting the US dollar. So the first event is coming up here on Tuesday, that's on the 14th of February, where we shall be witnessing the consumer price index. And the next one is coming up on Wednesday, where we shall be witnessing the retail sales. So these are major macroeconomic events we shall be looking forward to during the week. And obviously, participants in this market will be anticipating this event, and we shall definitely be seeing a reflection of these on the chart as price action. So, with that being said, here, I think we're beginning to see the reflection of this anticipation as we saw a huge consolidation phase last week. In that regard, let's scale down to the 4 hours time frame where I will be sharing with you how I intend to take advantage of any trading opportunity here using the current technical structure. Now, right now, we are on the 4 hours time frame, and first of all, we should lay emphasis on that importance of the 1860 level. As you can see, it has been a support level for quite some time now after the breakout of the structure happened at the beginning of the month of January. And then we saw the situation where price broke down that strong demand zone at the 1900. That was on the first couple of days for this month. And since the breakdown happened here, price had continued to trade below that structure to further emphasize the strength of the sellers at this point. But to further confirm that sellers are very strong at this area, we really need to see a breakdown of the 1860. And in fact, throughout the course of last week's trading session, we saw a situation where price action was caught within the 1880 level and the 1860 dollar level to give us an indecision in this market. And you know, from a technical standpoint, that whenever we have this kind of setup, we shall be looking and we shall be patient and look out for either a breakout of this channel to give us an opportunity to buy or a breakdown of this channel to give us an opportunity to sell. If we take into consideration this bearish impulse leg here that led price into the 1860, which was followed by a consolidation phase between the structure, we might likely be seeing price action transition into a trend continuation pattern, which will come in the form of a breakdown of the 1860 to give us an opportunity to sell. So I'm tending towards a selling momentum here for this week as I'm looking forward to price action breaking down the 1860. However, If it so happens that price action breaks out of the resistance point at the 1880 level, followed by buying pressure right above the structure, I would likely be seeing this as a signal that price action is about to respect that bullish trend line one more time to push price action to the upside, and we'll have no other choice than to buy the XAUUSD above the 1880. So these are my views here on the XAUUSD for this week, and I hope this video has been of immense help in helping you to make your individual decision on the XAUUSD for this week. And if it did, I would appreciate that you support this project by clicking the like button. Don't forget to follow me on my TradingView platform at Darksherry, spelled DARCSHERRY, so that you can be part of my daily commentaries, which I normally share in the comment section of all of my videos. Thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday right in the comment section, after which we shall be making a decision after monitoring our price action will be reacting to the $1,860 level during the early hours of the new week. Do have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.